All right, let's watch what Victor does.
Let's play. They're gonna bleed.
Oh. The burger boxing. So that was a burger box moment. So for that one, I mean, it is what it is. You know, early lane. I struggle with this, but for Billy, from what I know of and from kind of seeing, is that you don't really like try to do parry until you can bait out somewhat of a. You see some meleeings, otherwise you get punished, but that's hard. Yeah, it was good. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Nick. It was fun too.
Thanks for the help.
I also noticed that your alt fire was actually pretty high damage wise for Shiv when I looked at the damage graph, so I'm gonna be interested to see your alt fire rate of him.
Blades out.
So before Bebop got there, one thing maybe like it's be risky is like you could go and have gone up there and try to pressure either the Guardian or fight underneath that, because while your wave was present, but at the end I don't think it was worth it. It was like as soon as Bebop was coming, it would be risky and completely, but something else kind of might have been a little easier. You do need to buy here, so I would maybe get your other dagger on him, and then unless you could dash between them. Oh, that's yeah. You are a right-clicking fool. That's why you have your alt fire rate was pretty high on damage. Oh, she did it too early. Oh no, she got it.
Softening up. Catch.
No, you missed.
I got more where that came from.
That's where you alt fire. That's good on that one. Good use of it. Dash. If you feel comfy in it, of course you can weave in your light melee after your dash, but it obviously is a risk. But I don't know why she was over there. Hi, Hollow.
I don't go selling these to just anyone.
Hey, buddy. Buddy. Just gonna walk along. So he just asked to die during that?
You don't know who you're dealing with.
Good use on that. So far, you know, overall I haven't like seen anything like too like out of the ordinary for laning wise. Everything looks pretty hunky-dory. Like I'm trying to like think of seeing anything, but like so doing this, I mean maybe just go for like some of the boxes on the during the underground. I mean I thought she was gonna finish all of that, but obviously finishing the rest of it is good. How did oh, that was probably just a spectator bug, because that was really weird. You just gonna stay there in front of the way, buddy?
Blades.
Hopefully one of y'all mentioned that maybe they would have gone for the buff, that Bebop would have gone for the buff, I mean. You're doing a really good job of weaving in your blades with your alt fire. Probably more than I've seen like about than like other Shivs. Oh, that's unfortunate. I think in that one I would have dashed. So from there, when Billy pushed up, right before Bebop ulted, I think what would have been better is like dashed into the hit some of the mini waves and dashed into Billy there, and then you would have been able to execute him.
Before they know what hit him.
And then Bebop would have ulted, but as he was starting to wire it up anyways, but that might have been slightly different. But I'm also a person that plays Shivs more dash orientated, or at least I try to orientate his dash a little bit more. So anytime I can look for a slice and dice opportunity, I kind of take advantage of it. So sometimes I put myself, you know, out of position because of it over knives. So of course, if you haven't like had too much luck with using, you know, putting yourself in a dangerous position because of dashing, of course that's a different thing. He just whacked you as he walked by. That's a good one. Good thing you have reactive. If you get hooked, sometimes what I like to do, your guardian's being attacked. You could try using heavy melee to escape the grab, like the momentum of the grab at least. So that's sometimes kind of what I try to do, depending on if I need to stay close or whatever. Or since you're Shiv, you can use alt fire, of course. All right, so the sinners are about to be up, so I would try to prioritize those coming up next. That's actually good to keep your rage up. ×2. Yeah, so like doing that, I would dash. Like so that I kind of look a little more aggressive for dash. You need to hit one of them to keep your rage up though. If you haven't hit one soon, you're about to lose it. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, so if you haven't seen one after a couple of seconds, if you can, try to hit one to at least keep your rage up. Nice movement. Yeah, so for like I said, at least maybe that's just me, but I would have tried to like dash first and then execute. I know with the 200 damage or whatever, it's still really good, but there's the chance of killing him out of that. That's maybe just me, how I play him. And then you could dash one. That should kill. Oh, that should have killed him, I think. Oh, Ivy shouldn't have backed off. She's a sneeze away. Nice bleed. Cool. So I was gonna say, if you feel comfortable, you should take their shit. So I'm glad you came back over here. 925. What, in this one? Or in yours? In your game? Hi, Peaches. Nice job taking the centers. Then you can go take your centers to the right as well. Oh, the wave. No, this is better. Peach, where are you going, baby? Mine. Yeah, I mean, mine was a rough start too. We almost won. Doesn't necessarily mean it's over. So I would have probably actually just given up the Guardian here. It was a sneeze away and you didn't have any pressure. Granted, I wasn't looking at the Guardian health. But if the Guardian's relatively low health and you don't have any lane pressure and you see two or more pushing, one, you're kind of like even with them. I wouldn't necessarily like just give my life for it. Sometimes I think it's just better to back off on that one.
I see Infernus.
At least sometimes.
Our green guardian has been destroyed.
I believe in you, Blade. You can come back from it. So let's go farming after this wave. Hey, you like me? Sometimes you have that 5 points that you haven't used. So try to watch your ability points. I mean, I'm a culprit of it too. No one's on yellow. Hopefully, that someone goes over there.
Our yellow walker is under attack.
Headed to York.
I mean, you're there. I would have just might as well just took the neutral that was underneath it while you were there. You can use the time just to take the souls.
They're gonna bleed. Bleed.
Oh no, Bebop's doing that too. Nice. I think they should back off. Okay, I'm glad you backed off. It's like paying too much on that is a little dangerous. I got hooked. They shouldn't have stayed up there. So, and then that once I would have dashed in that, like dashing through
We'll split the balance.
Flash whenever he gets one or two of them. If you don't necessarily like care for the dashing, which is what I'm going to assume, and you super like the knives, which is what I'm just kind of saying, but you still have some points in dashing, and I think it could have probably killed him.
Our blue walker is under attack.
Let's play. It's about time. No one gets the drop on me.
Flash left you. Hopefully you see that. Yeah, I would actually. That's unfortunate.
Road blades.
Something else too that I slightly have noticed is that maybe activate your bloodletting a little bit more.
True Shiv.
Let's push you on the paradox.
Like during that time, you can do it then. Oh, she's blind.
Took out another one. I see people.
Meow, meow, meow. Glad y'all are taking it. Well, you're taking yours and they're still in theirs. Dynamoming. Blue's taking damage, so you're gonna need to go get that. I would have probably tried to buy and then come over here. Because Drifter's coming. I think you could have bought and dropped to the secret shop and then have gotten. And like you saw Dynamo and Calico here. So I think, again, if anything, you could have rotated back to buy and then possibly have gotten her. Solid Spirit Snatch. What you looking at, buddy?
Headed to green.
So that whole fight that's happening on yellow, I don't think you should go over there. now you're going over there.
The spirit urn is waiting to be
I think you could have just stayed there on Paradox and you and Lash could have killed Paradox and pushed blue. That bitch heard your punch. Oh, you die here. Now there's 4 here.
back.
Yeah, I would like from there, like I mean hindsight obviously it didn't work out, but since y'all were like you saw Paradox here and Lash was there and that was slightly out of the way. With it not being like 20 minutes or whatever, I think it would have been a little bit better while you're here if y'all could have just fought here and try to get the Paradox with you and Lash. And then whatever happens here, because Ivy was on green, which is why it's happening here. And then y'all could have, if things had worked out, y'all could have split pushed this and they would have, you know, fought or died underneath here. So I think that one would have been better. Like I said, hindsight, you wouldn't have fully really have known, of course, but going over to here now, I think, well, now, and see, now you don't. So I was gonna say, it can make sense that time, but now they're all over there, so I guess it doesn't really matter, but that Bebop needs to die. Cool. Meow, 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 meow. Might as well break boxes while you're there, so go ahead and just weave that in there too. Hopefully you heard them. That was a weird jump. You're a right-clicking fool.
I see Infernus.
Yeah, like so, like try weaving in your bloodletting to activating it. 'Cause there's times where you could use it to help clear the damage. I think you could have done it there too. When as soon as Calico got Black Hold, you could have used it. They're down to. I think y'all could have gotten some shots. Now that you're kind of going back, I don't think going back now. I was like, you should have gotten at least a little points off of this, points damage. But now that y'all are coming back, I don't know if coming back now is the right point because they're going to be respawning, and they're going to be coming over here. So like y'all should have probably stayed, and then as soon as they died, or sorry, as soon as they respawned, then you left. Or if you're gonna back off, just commit to backing off at that point, because it was too small a respawn window with them both being under 10 seconds once you decided to come back. Get D. Oh, yeah, 10 seconds. Fast forward. Meow.
Our yellow walker has been defeated.
Nice job. You clear the flag menu if you wanted to while you were there. At least sneak a sneeze on him because of the flag changes. Unlucky. Nice attempt. Meow. I was like, why is this still going so fast? Clovis.
I see Calico.
Bye. There's a lot going on here for no reason. What happened? Why did this even happen? Bully him. Yes. Bully Bebop. Nice, Sue. Once Lash died, I think you should have left. Unless you can 1v2 them. Or until Dynamo, because I don't know where no Dynamo's here now. You should go by. Unlucky. I wouldn't have engaged on that one. Like once they backed off and Dynamo like there's no reason to have taken this fight. They were like relatively over half health. Because like you're gambling with it, I guess. It's a gamble, I mean, but there's no value. There's no objective here, right? Flash died, but then Calico and Furnace dashed away, but then Calico was still around roughly, or you dashed initially. But then once you like re-engage, I don't think like there was a point like a need for that. So I would like maybe say during that time, like once the disconnect happens, unless you can just like snowball over them, which you're not really, you're even with some power spikes, of course. I think that would have been better to have just not chased, you know? And I'm assuming you're saving for a tier 4, hopefully. Oh, you missed one minion. Unlucky.
A new era is coming.
Oh, you should buy. And if it's because of us, this isn't gonna work on this one. And you changed your mind, which is good. But you should have bought once you came back. I hate when that happens. That is not your fault. I mean, I guess technically it is because the game thought you were, but like that's dumb.
Blue Walker has been defeated.
That's dumb.
Our Green Walker has been defeated.
What I was gonna say is if you're tied for slots, I would just sell the extra shot or the extra charge for now, and then you can just rebuy it since it's just a tier 1. Or the Mystic shot if you really wanted to.
Ascending.
Damn it, I got to reach you.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of kerfuffle that was happening over with that urn fight. Normally I would say push out the other wave, but I know it's risky business. Unless you just now realize you could buy a tier 4.
Shiv, may your nights be long and your aim be true.
Oh, wait, did Lash not also clear this himself out? What the fuck? Okay, we gotta go back and fight on blue to try to save it now. Okay, so this is basically at this point, like, as long as they don't fuck up, they win this game, right? They're 30k above. But we'll see if there's a way that we can slightly pull this back. Nice dash. Nice daggers. Oh, that's unfortunate. Unfortunate ice Arctic blast. No, make it out. No. I commend you for trying. Kerfuffle, yeah, the kerfuffle. You saw the whole kerfuffle, like literally. So like, the game went like, the game. Oh my god, so much noise. So like, Rick, you were asking like, what can maybe have done with this one, and honestly, map pressure wise, the only thing really that I saw like you would have messed up was like this yellow down here. Whenever you kind of put pressure, or you clear the wave and then you decide to go back and then you decide to come back, that was like the only like mistake really that like slightly, like I say mistake, like it was kind of minor, but it could have been different, like because like if you did damage to it and then you got away, then you would have been alive. and then you know had a little bit more pressure to farm and shit. So you know maybe that had like some inclination that you could have done a little bit better on, like if you're gonna get that, if you want to do the damage or the pressure, stay up there and then retreat whenever they respawn, or don't go back whenever you're gonna leave and then come back without like the rest of the map having pressure. And the rest of the map, like no one was present really on the other 2 lanes, so like you're basically asked to get jumped on, which you and I don't know who it was but that was with you did get jumped on. Then from there it was really kind of the shot, I guess the shot stuff while this happens. That little shot fight wherever you two kind of double chased between the Infernus and the Calico. There wasn't, I mean, this was just the whole team, so that's what it was. That y'all did get the rejuice off, but so from the shot like that, like I would maybe consider whenever you're like Lash died, and then the Calico Infernus, there's a breathing break room, and then you re-engaged by yourself with the 1v2 possibly, and Dynamo wasn't even fully there, and then Billy showed up and then you died. So from there I would be like, if you're gonna re-engage, maybe for sure know like if it's worth it. And then that would be because like once that happened, then you respawned and you had to fix this wave. Then there was the whole kerfuffle that happened here with the urn, where it was a 5v6 or 4v6, whatever happened, and then someone else trickled in afterwards and then they died. But that urn fight that happened there was basically GG, which is what's happened here. That's where they got their lead, and then they did mid-boss, and now we're in the state. So those like and then you weren't here for that one, but you died at this shop, right? And then that's what led to this. So like from there, I mean, the way that the game is, I'm sure as you know, is like once you get this lead, this 30-40k soul lead, there's really not like, unless the enemy team really fucks up, you're not really going to be able to come back. And by fucking up, I mean like literally they die when they're like a 70-second respawn, and then you get the game back. So I'm actually surprised they don't die here or win here. But those are kind of like literally the things I think that decided this game. And then so like between this decision and then the shop decision, I would like literally like the only way besides that to really not let that happen, in those situations at least, is like maybe not maybe finding ways that you could get your lead back, or not lead, like you yourself find a way to, so that you can get like a raid boss and you become raid boss Thanos in the lobby. So, and I know that's like that's definitely harder than it's said to be, but with like how much map, like I know there's been this whole lot of stuff that's been going on right now, but with how much stuff that there is with the map right now, like even here right now, you should be going at the urn. You're, and I say you because you're on the map right now, but one of y'all should be getting the urn. The whole team's dead. Ivy shouldn't be doing whatever she's doing. Somebody needs to get the urn and then pressuring these lanes. Like literally, like there's, and Lash is over here doing the shop, whatever. Like now that you're here, this is good. What are the, maybe they're getting the urn here. They are, okay. So Drifter should stay here and pressure this. And then you need to take their shit afterwards. But my point, like I said, was like, all I was trying to get at is like, to avoid the situation that happened with this Kerfuffle is, I think it was literally just this one mistake. Because soul-wise, there was only like a 10k soul difference, I think, even between that, or even 5k, because it was a neutral urn. So y'all weren't like terribly behind. But since this happened at that point of the game, which was like 20 minutes, right? Since those respawns are so long, they could just, you know, take advantage of what they need to, which was mid-boss, and then just with how mid-boss works. So I think that like, it's kind of hard to say like from this game, sometimes the game being Deadlock comes down to literally 1 to 2 mistakes, and then it's just GG's, just because of, literally just because of mid-boss. I'm not, that's like, until they change the buffs that it offers, and they did change some of the buffs that it offers now, but it's still so strong. It's still strong, right? Like you get lives and you get permanent stats now. You don't get the fire rate and everything that you used to get. But with just what it offers, mid-boss just decides the game. And like from here, like this is risky. Like you hear him, but you had no one. At the time, you didn't have someone behind you. Now Drifter's here, which is good, but. So, okay, from this one, okay, this one I think was your mistake. I like hearing Witchmill go off. The reason why from there, why I'm saying that is because you're in the jungle. There's no objective here. Mid boss is up, so any fight with mid boss at this stage of the game is very risky. But it was just you and Drifter was like where Lash was, or maybe even farther back right here. And then you were underneath, and so you knew him was there. But I think if you waited out engaging on Furnace and be like, yo, Drifter, can we get on him? And then y'all try to do that, or at least wait until he was a little closer. Because then there was how quick rotations are, and they have a Mirage, which you just now teleported. It's very risky just trying to 1v1 someone, unless, like I said, you yourself are the raid boss, which you do actually have 4K above Infernus, but at the end of the day, it's also Infernus. So a good Infernus, or decent Infernus, can 1v1, or at least stall one behind. This is actually really good. I'm surprised that they won. So let's see what they do. Do they do mid? Okay, Drifter's doing mid. Okay, you're up. We'll just watch them do this. Bro's fucking playing CSGO down there with the rejuve. He's like, I'm watching my angle. All right, we go to you now. All right, what you got? I will say, one of the things in general though, from just Shiv micro, I would try dicing a little bit more and maybe activating your bloodletting. All right, so at this point, we need to do something. We don't have the urn, but we have lane pressure. Lash is behind. Y'all need Lash is coming. Cool, cool.
I'm added to Greenwich.
He even says he's heading to green. So y'all need to either keep stealing the stuff or rotate up here to these lanes. They're backing off. Fuck. Okay, now that they backed off, y'all gotta be careful. Why did Lash go all the way back to? Did he just go back to buy? Dynamo, what is Dynamo doing, bro? He's taking sinners. Okay, we need to do something with mid boss, but we need to wait for everyone. Hopefully, you heard people to your right, and you can tell your team. But we have from here we have mid boss, but we're like playing behind our shot. Drifter and Raybar into this patch. I'm not so sure about Drifter. I've actually been enjoying him. I actually had a good game earlier with him. But Warden, Wraith, and Hazar. And I had actually a really good game with Vyper earlier too. Okay, so we're all here. This is fine to push. I think we're trying to do the business with this one walker and with the whole team. All right, we do things. Lash, go do things. We got rescue beams. Okay, that's a good kill. Lash. Nice slice and dice. I would be focusing on them, not the walker. That's a huge bag, 1500. Nice. You put Wraith and Haze above.
Let's go blue.
I guess it really kind of depends on how they're playing. I like that his changes to him. He needs still, and honestly though, like any hybrid character that can utilize the gun and the spirit damage is going to do really well right now. That 4.8k is so strong that anyone that focuses really on those ones is going to be really good. Okay, what is Lash doing, bro? Were you farming while doing that? Clearing the wave makes one sense, but I think he's farming. Fucking Witchmill's procking out the ass. So the only thing stack wise that I would say maybe getting in this game is debuff remover. Honestly, which maybe you get here. You get spellbreaker. I think maybe instead of boundless at least at the time, like I said, debuff remover I think would be good between two other teams with focus lens, two of them being Infernus and Mirage. And you also have counter spell, so you can take advantage of that too. Fucking Drifter's trying his ass out. Drifter's still fighting. Okay, so what happened here? You saw Infernus. We saw Infernus here. Your team was all over the map. And then you didn't really engage on Furnace, which I think is correct. But then he engaged on you and chased you down, and then the whole team happened and collapsed on you and pincered. So really, the only thing that I could say might have been, you know, bad or different with that. Sorry. Okay, so let's wrap this up here. So the GG's from here. So like we saw them here in Furnace, and then they just collapsed and pincered. The only thing that I would really say is that from there is that be mindful late game to like overextending, which I mean you were literally just in the middle of the map, but your team wasn't here. And then they just, like I said, they just pincered and collapsed on you instead. So it kind of was unfortunate. Of just like a small decision on that one. And so like there wasn't anything like super major on that part outside of, like I said, just being slightly overextended. And then there was, you know, it's just unfortunate what happened with getting pincered. So I mean, I wouldn't necessarily like change the whole like playstyle around, literally just the very end there. The only thing I would say is like, just be aware at the end of the game when patrons are down, etc., and it's, you know, 30 plus minutes of, and they're the whole team, both teams are still alive, of not being on where you are on the map, because once that happens, like I mean we've all been there, so it's not necessarily like I said just a huge thing that you could necessarily have like, as I was like, no, I don't necessarily like change the whole position or your whole like approach from it, but when you're there, just be aware of the game state, because all it takes at that point, people, you don't really, at 30 plus minutes, you're not necessarily playing, especially with an open map, you're not really playing to push the lanes and farm for the most part. You're looking for opportunities to pick, right? You're keeping lane pressure, but you're looking for those one or two vulnerables where the whole team can collapse and storm on. And that's what they did. And their team just rotated more than your team did. So unfortunately, I would say some of this team or this game was a little bit of a coordination, and their team is just more coordinated or organized than yours. So it's not like, sometimes it's a little bit necessary, not necessarily from your own micro decisions outside of, like I said. So that's why, like, at least just when you're in the future, maybe just think of what is going on at that point in the game. Once 30 minutes up, once 35 minutes is that, especially when 35 minutes is there, where is the game looking at? And if it's like, hey, I'm the most put up by myself, or most pushed up on the map by myself, and I don't have really close nearby people or people that can't rotate quickly, which I think was a little just Drifter, I would be more cautious personally on trying to like overextend, or at least talk with the team like, all right, we need to try to force something and then do that, or like I'll try to bait, etc. So that's kind of like at least how I would have probably played around that. From your build, everything build wise looked good. You could consider getting E-shift as well from this, and then debuff. I probably would have gotten debuff remover Counterspell got a little left off at the end. You used it a couple times, which was great. But then there's times you weren't really using counterspell. So which I'm a culprit of it too. I get counterspell. Counterspell is fantastic, but I don't buy it consistently enough to always utilize it, which sucks. So I probably would have actually gotten debuff remover between two people that can put dots, Bebop with his bombs, whether he's putting on himself or just technically yours, and then they also had focus lens. So they had a lot of stuff that debuff remover probably would have taken advantage of. But otherwise, build wise, everything looks good. So hopefully that kind of helped. Like I said, we'll take a look at your other game next time.